Hello, hello, hello. This is Gouda.Murder, a podcast about sharp kills and cheesy thrills. Listen in on a group of gals talking true crime and all things cheese.
All right, cheese bags. It's me, your girl Keely.
And
Rizzo with my favorite ladies, Kelly and Coda.
Hello.
We're going to give an episode that Austin suggested. Thanks, babe. Thanks for not listening.
Yeah, thanks for your moral support. Thank you. Literally.
Everything, yeah. So he asked that we do an episode based off of Lake Mead, which is in Nevada. And last year, him and I were watching a couple of YouTubers talking about how the water levels were dropping really low very quickly. And as this has gone on, this YouTuber basically was doing these like weekly updates on, look how low this water's gotten. There's a boat that they found that's been submerged for years and years.
Ugh.
They found all kinds of just crazy shit. So anyway, there was submerged vessels emerged from the depths as it was resurfaced. They started finding other things in relation to the boat sinking, and on top
Was
of
it an old boat? When you say a boat submerged, how long?
What
kind of boat?
There
A
was
ship
one
boat?
dated back from World War II, and then there were some that were like pretty recent, like 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay.
Just oops, we got too drunk at 4th of
Oops,
July
I did
and
it
our
again.
boat sank. Yeah, like just shit like that.
Funny fact, I grew up on Wisconsin lakes, and so did my mother. And so when I was young, my mother was, my age, so she had me like a 25 or whatever. So when I was 5 or 6, we were up north. My mom was like, early 30s, whatever, and she was out boating with her boyfriend, late night boating. Totally run a land on their fishing boat on their way home because it was so dark. There aren't any lights at the time. My family didn't have like lights on their dock, and so they just fucking full speed ahead. Didn't know how close to the shore they were. Anything, thought they were a little further away, and totally just bam right into land. They were fine. The boat didn't sink because it's just like aluminum fishing boat.
Lucky. Oh my god.
That was trying to
that is
run amok, run a land. I think that's an actual term. It's like not run a land, but it's like, what is it? Like when you hit land, it's something.
Land ho!
Yeah, I would have been really funny if you did that. Land ho! They'd been like,
I was gonna say you're mixing cookies and ground together.
So yeah, there you go.
You can crumble them up and make that dirt pudding dessert.
Oh, that is so good.
Yes, I am mixing cookies and like that. It's
Cookies
tasty.
and land. It's tasty. Sorry, anyway. It just made me think of it. It happens. It happens.
So
Cheese. It's got the milk.
Trademark.
It's
mine.
Yeah.
It's yours.
I call dibs. Trademarked. Stop it.
Stop.
Anyway, we were talking about the YouTuber, and he's doing these weekly updates on the boats, and another YouTuber that him and I were watching, this group found out that there was a man living on one of the houseboats on Lake Mead, and the water had just dropped so low so quickly that this man was stranded. And the mud where the water once was so
soft he couldn't walk out.
Couldn't walk out, couldn't do anything, and he was an older gentleman, so he couldn't get help.
Did he die?
No, they helped him. They saved his houseboat. But it was just on top of all these updates that him and I were watching. It just like got into it. Yeah. So on top of the houseboat and them just uncovering these other boats on top of it, they also found some bodies.
Ew.
That's surprising.
Yep. As of May of last year, so 2022, they have uncovered at least 5 bodies now.
What?
From Lake Mead and how the water is dropping. So they found a sorry, let me go back to this note here. So last summer, Lake Mead reached a historic low in regards to the water. from the dire condition it witnessed back in 1937. So the water is as low as it was when they started making or deciding to build this lake.
Okay.
But because of Colorado's really wet winter, it is now, the water levels are now gradually rising and coming back. It's not as high as it was, and it's still, I think it was 200 feet lower than it normally is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
damn, how big is this lake?
hold on just a second. I did put that in my notes somewhere. I think it's up to like 2,000 feet deep, and it's like water level, the lowest that it ever was, or like its water reserve is up to like 897, and the water had dropped down to like just above 1,000, which is the lowest it's ever been. And if they lost that, then like Nevada loses all their water.
Oh, I think I did hear about this on IPR, because Josh likes to listen to Iowa Public Radio.
Yep. Because they were talking about what they can do to help prevent this, because if we're having summers that are this bad in the drought, I mean, this is one of the longest droughts that Nevada's had. It's like, I think it was going on like close to a 20-year drought.
Yeah, I think one of the reporters was saying they were trying to weigh the options on how to conserve water, and one of them was to cut water off to farmers.
Yep. Yeah, they were talking about things. Yep, it was that, and then they were talking about doing like basically like not chores, but you only have a certain amount of time in different cities. They're like, all right, so this area is only going to have water from 8 to 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
So do all your laundry and dishes, showers, whatever from this time, and then they're going to shut it off. Like they had discussed that at some point.
Wow.
I don't know how far they actually got with that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Rizzo's on one today.
It is what it is.
Yeah, she crinkling in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, listeners, but it's very distracting over here.
It's our ambiance.
I think the air conditioner is loud enough that just cuts it out. I'll get closer. Sorry.
I'll get closer. Ooh, whisper in my ear.
That's ambiance.
Tickly. Oh!
Did you hear that?
I heard that
I
teeth.
need my dental.
That was totally your teeth against the glass.
I feel like I need to go brush my teeth now. That hurts. Sorry. So anyway, despite the promising recovery, the lake's transformation has not reached its climax. Among its remarkable findings, a corroded metal barrel caught the attention of boaters returning to the dock, and curiosity led them to a shocking realization. The barrel concealed human remains from a dark chapter in the past. Authorities delved deeper into the investigation, and they unraveled a crime seemingly belonging to the murky world of Gangland Heights.
Ooh, what's that?
Mob relations in like the 1980s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Which
Damn.
I was like, this is super cool.
Mob.
But they end up finding, so they found that body in the bin. And then they also, like a month later, they found a floating torso. Not related to
an unrelated torso.
Yeah, a different torso. And then they end up finding, it was like 2 more bodies, and then there was a jawbone found on land where the water once was, which is now like where there's sand. The beach, sandbar. Yeah. So it was like back to back to back. The poor Nevada police and investigators just like might as well just camp at Lake Mead, because
why didn't they dredge it while it was low? After finding so many, why wouldn't they just go ahead and break through it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I spy with my little eye.
I don't know if they can.
What you want to bet we find a toe today?
Wouldn't that affect the water reserve though?
I don't know.
Because I'm sure
I'm not the expert here, Keely.
I mean, I'm sure there's a reason they didn't do that, but
unless it was
probably because one, let sleeping dogs lie. If I don't know, I don't know, and 2, probably was a lot of money.
True.
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
But yeah, they're still, the YouTuber that Austin and I follow, he's still doing updates on it now, and the water has risen, but there's still certain parts of Lake Mead that are still really low that they're not sure will go back to normal.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. It was
That's scary.
It's dried up just enough that water, every time it comes in, it just absorbs it back. So they're not sure how that's going from there.
Cool.
So I was this is really neat, and I'm waiting for more follow-ups on that. And the YouTuber we were watching, let me see if I have screenshots still, but it was showing what the boats he's doing. This is where the water's at on this boat, and there's a boat standing straight up in mud. And I was that's crazy to think the water was that high that you're just boating right over this. Imagine it if you guys just docked there, you went to go dive in the water being funny, and you just
hit a boat.
I hit another boat, but it wasn't floating.
But I wonder, what if some of those bodies were something like that? They dove, hit something in the water, and drowned.
So one of the bodies that they did find was, it looked like there was some sort of head trauma. So not sure that it's exactly them diving in and hitting the boat, but
or something.
Or somebody hit bludgeoned. Not boat related.
Yeah,
boat bludgeoned.
So there's Is that the
torso? What is that?
No, that's
a boat.
Oh, is it?
No, that's where the body was found.
Oh, in the barrel.
In the barrel. That's the barrel.
Oh, okay. It looks like wrapped body from here.
Fair.
I'm gonna touch
basically, yeah.
So when they say the water reserve, is that including? You said it was low enough to be muddy. Was that man on the houseboat on the outskirts?
Yeah.
Okay. I was is the water reserve technically that really slimy mud because it was enough water content? Or?
No, so Lake Mead is I believe it's a man-made lake, and so it wraps around a large part, not wraps around, but it's a large part of Nevada, but where it kind of, it dips off into layers, so here's the personal lake that everyone can swim in, and then it dips down where more water is able to go, and then it dips down again, and this is what provides Nevada, and I think it was Arizona as well with water.
What?
Not saying it's not 100% of their water, but it's
right.
A large part.
Just rely on rainfall.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
their water table ish.
Yeah, and then Colorado's winter, the water
from the mountains.
Yeah, comes from the mountains to there. So I mean, in all focusedness, this should take care of them for a long time. But it's
hot and
our heat's taking that water.
The ozone layer.
The ozone layer.
If you believe in that thing, which you should.
On topic of very dry, so we planted our yard last year, and we've been watering it every day.
Wow, you piece of shit.
We got a letter from the village saying you have had unusually high water usage. Here are some common leaks you should probably check. Guess how many gallons we used in 2 months?
Oh no.
Is it in the triple digits or double digits? I don't know how many gallons add up.
It was 80,000 gallons.
Whatever! 80,000. I'm thinking triple digits.
So then I'm doing the math. I'm we don't have a leak. It's a new house. I'm okay, I looked up the average amount of water that comes out of a garden hose, and I run my garden hose this many hours a day, and I'm
God.
So I'm shit, our water bill's going to be pretty high, right?
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
So that's the boat that's standing up. That's what this YouTuber has been recording.
It looks like a monument.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And there's more to it. They found tons of them.
Jeez.
That's crazy. It's like Easter Island, but boats.
Yeah, literally.
Boat hinge.
Yeah, boat hinge.
But I 100% wrapped up all of our hoses and said, F you, yard, you're going to shrivel and die.
You're done.
Yeah. I'm not watering you anymore.
That's insane. I mean, I get it, because, you just built it, and so you're just nothing but...
Keep the yard moisturize so that the grass seeds don't dry out and shrivel.
Right, I get that, but
you're on your own now.
I was in the triple digits. Nope. Add 2 more zeros.
I'd shit myself.
Oh my god.
I almost did. Like our normal water bill is like $140 every 2 months.
That one was not $142.
I'm like, I'm guessing like $400, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
How much was it? Sorry. Did you say that?
$1,013.53.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, what? They only give you 20 days.
I love how we're whispering, but we're on mic right now.
Yeah.
Like, the people can't just crank
That
this
is
up.
insane.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm like, roll those hoses up.
Roll those hoses.
That yard is fending for itself now.
Let nature decide.
Yeah, I'm like,
hopefully the rain
please
comes.
rain.
Nevada's thinking the same thing.
Damn. We did get a lot of rain like last month though.
Mine was selfishness with the garden hoses.
Yeah, my basement. My basement learned that.
Yeah, it did.
If you want to go swimming,
Did it flood?
yeah.
When
it rains.
Every time?
If it's really heavy rain, we get a cute little leak.
Like how much is it cute? Like how deep? Like 2 to 3 inches?
Ankle deep?
Foot?
Not the entire basement.
Could I float in it?
Hypothetically speaking, you could. If we blocked off part of the basement, you could, yeah.
Why don't we do that and just have a pool every once in a while? Like,
just seal it down there.
Can you imagine Austin coming home from out of town and I'm like, come to the basement? He's like, what the fuck? And I'm just pool noodling it. Rizzo's sitting in next to me like, man, please.
Help me.
Dang.
She's over here trying to doggy paddle out.
Yeah.
I didn't teach you that.
I didn't teach you any of that. Damn, that's
like, I'm a freaking cat, Mom. I don't like water.
She'll get in the shower with you.
Yeah,
I hate it.
As basement pools.
No.
That's not the same.
No, if you're in the shower too long, Rizzo will come up and smack.
Curtain.
Yep, she'll get in between the curtain and smack your butt, so your wet bottom hits that dry curtain. You're like,
oh, I
like
hate
sticks
that.
to a little bit.
So I gotta like kick it back, and I forget that the cat's there. So
It wasn't the wind. Oops.
yeah, she'll come back up. She'll jump into the actual shower and she'll just look at you. And I was like, please don't get wet, because you want to try to snuggle with me when we go to bed. And I'm not sleeping with a wet cat. Like, trying to hurry up and turn the water off. I'm like, no. I still have conditioner in. Get out.
Yes. I'm still shampooing.
Please. I only shaved one leg.
Soap in my eyes.
We'll definitely have to keep up on this interesting cheese bite of a Mead Lake. Murder Mead Lake.
You know, we should have done Mead with this episode.
Man, listen,
damn.
we could have if we had coordinated.
Next time we'll coordinate. On our updates, we will have Mead.
We should do Mead. We have not done Mead. And there's a local meadery downtown.
Yes, I need to visit that local meadery.
It's so good.
The way you guys are saying it sounds disgusting.
Mead is so good.
Meat.
Meadery.
I know you're
It's
saying
with a
mead.
D.
I know. But there's a meat place down the road.
It's this
Okay.
Meat market.
Yeah. Get your mead fill. There's like at least 25 or like maybe 20 different meads down there.
It's good stuff.
Let you
What
sample
flavors?
too.
I had the one
Let
from
you
the
sample.
place you had.
Yeah.
Tastes like, I'm going to be really honest. The first one I tried reminded me of banana Laffy Taffy.
Yum.
It was so good.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
person I was
honey wine.
with was like, ew, that sounds gross. And I was like,
Yeah, it's good.
You're a hater.
okay, doctor.
Quit that
Yeah.
hating. So we need to go. We need to go back so I can try this Laffy Taffy
Banana mead.
bee
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah, we'll go.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's all I have for today.
Yeah.
So
It's a short episode. I wouldn't even call it an episode. I would find
it's a
it
cheese bite.
It's a cheese.
Collaborative cheese.
A
bite.
collaborative. We did some collaborative cheese bites.
I love that.
I love that.
Anyway, if you guys have any questions or concerns, you can email us.
At Gouda.Murder.com. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Gouda.Murder@gmail.com.
You can find us on Facebook.
Which is Gouda.Murder Podcast Official.
You can find us on Instagram.
Which is Gouda.Murder Pod, all one word.
And that's the same with TikTok, which don't bother.
Don't
And stay tuned for YouTube.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think YouTube's going to really excel us.
I'm
As soon
excited.
as you can see this face, look out.
Also, you should follow us on Facebook because we got new merch on order.
I know, I'm so excited.
And you might win something, but you gotta follow us first.
You gotta follow us.
Bring your friends.
Yeah.
Dang.
We're all about this cheese society here and this true crime, I guess, but all about that cheese.
It's like that Megan Trainor song. It's all about the base. It's all about that cheese. Anyway, thanks for listening and stay fresh.
Cheese bags.